we are doing all of the lamest possible things with technology and none of the cool things. And it's just depressing, man. It's well, I'll read the article first and then share more of my opinion. But so this is an NPR article. A supermarket trip may soon look different thanks to electronic shelf labels. And
I've heard of
basically,
these.
I don't even know if we really need to read it, but I thought you might have thoughts on this or whatever.
I've heard of these.
Yeah, and the worry is that they're going to combine this with like the surge pricing that they've talked about with fast food restaurants, where at lunch and dinner and breakfast time, all the prices are going to be higher. But if you go at 2 in the afternoon or whatever, they might be a little bit cheaper. And so what they can do here, they can say one price when you go and look at it the first time, and then by the time you're up to the register, oh, it's $1 or $2 more. Are you gonna like? Oh, I still need milk. You're not gonna get rid of the milk or whatever, and you're gonna pay the extra $1 or $2. And it's just we're nickel and diming everybody again with the fucking technology instead of doing any of the cool things. It's like if Total Recall, there was no triple-titted ladies, and there's Neuralink, but it only comes pre-installed with fucking Klarna and Afterpay and McDonald's app and the Wendy's app and all of this shit. Like, it's just, why is this what we do with the technology, man? It's so depressing.
So, with my background in the grocery industry, I will say I can see why it makes sense, and I don't know anything about the surge pricing. I don't think that's the reason why stores are doing it, in my personal opinion.
Well, they're not going to say that, of course, but at the very least, it's in the back of their minds.
They could use it for that, for sure. But I think the main thought behind it is they're going to use it in order to because prices change every week. That's the thing. Like, there's different sales, there's different ads. So I think their idea behind it is they don't have to pay someone to change all the tags every week, and that's a way to save some money. And it's just
you sound like a suit, though. You sound like a suit. That's how the suits will sell this. That will be the statement when these sorts of things come out. And then years later, when they surge price us, or months later, when they surge price us, then it'll be like, oh, but isn't it convenient? No.
Yeah. See, you're probably onto something there. Like, I didn't even that's kind of funny because I never even thought about that part of it until you brought that up. Like, yeah, that is a good point. But the thing is, don't they already have I'm not saying grocery stores, but restaurants and especially fast food restaurants, they already do have electronic video boards, so that show their prices. So couldn't they theoretically already be doing that? I know I'm comparing apples to oranges here.
I think you would have some sort of false advertising issue where the price that's advertised in the store isn't what you pay. But if they can say, no, that's what's on the label, then it's not false advertising.
That's a good point. I guess I never really thought about that part about it. And I don't know. I mean, granted, I don't have a huge background. I mean, I have a background in the industry, but I've just heard some of the vice presidents within my company back when I was more on that side of that business talk about this a little bit. And I know that my company has been considering adopting these in the near future, but I've never heard anything about that. But then again, they probably wouldn't say something like that in front of someone like me. So
yeah, if they're even talking about it anywhere, it's a small handful of the C-level people.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So yeah, no, that's a good point. And yeah, I mean, I guess maybe they could argue oh, it saves on waste, it saves on stuff like that, but then you do have to power all the electronic labels all day long too. So, but I guess you're not using as much paper to make the labels. So I guess
yeah,
it's kind of
look at this shit. Look at this shit, dude. This is another thing. This is
before.
What we're, yes. This is the worst.
Before.
Let's just watch the video here. Look at this.
Crazy. Go right to the T.
Oh wow, great. This is so much better than a glass door. I'm so glad they can track my eyes for more data, and I can just be monitored more.
Yep. I've seen those out west. I haven't seen them in Minnesota yet, but I saw them out in Utah at a grocery store in Utah. And I was just like, what's the point of this? Can't we just have a glass door? I think it's just so they're, in my opinion, it's just from a merchandising perspective. So then their cooler doesn't look as bad when they're not fully stocked. That's the only reason why I can maybe see why they would want that. But just keep your stuff stocked and then it won't be a problem.
Well, that's part of it. But then also, again, they don't have to update the prices all the time and that sort of thing. And again, I just see them using this to screw us with surge pricing again. I'm convinced that's what they're going to do with these things. And yep, they're just doing all the worst things with technology and none of the cool things, none of the fun things. And it's really lame.
No,
It's
have you
disappointing.
seen those anywhere in person yet?
I have not
those
yet.
coolers?
So, supposedly it's going, Walgreens is rolling it out. Like, I don't know if it's going to be everywhere, but they're at least testing it in some stores now. So maybe the one by me, I can check it out later, but I haven't seen any so far.
Yeah, no, I've only seen it in Utah at one specific grocery store chain. Other than that, I have not seen it anywhere else. I've not seen it in the Midwest yet. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a few stores that have it, because if you said Walgreens is rolling it out, we have plenty of those here. So as soon as one company adopts it, I feel like a lot of companies will follow suit.
Oh yeah, of course. As soon as they see they can make money doing this, that they're going to keep doing it. It's the same thing with how they ask for tips on everything. People gave them more money, so they're just going to keep doing it, and they make more money with the surge pricing, electronic labels. They're just going to keep doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating. I mean, I'm surprised. Like whenever you my biggest pet peeve is like when you don't even like when they ask for a tip on stuff and they didn't even do anything. Like you know what I mean? Like when you take takeout out, they ask you for a tip on the screen, and the only way to get out of it is to click like other and then 0, and then you just feel like a prick for doing that. And it's like, whatever, I guess I'll be a prick because you're making me look like a prick for no reason. And like normally what
Why
I
do
do
you
is I
feel
just
like
tip
a prick? I don't understand that. Like people say this, that's the argument, like the social pressure and stuff, but why? Because you just said they didn't do anything worth a tip, so why would not tipping them make you feel bad?
I mean, I guess they cooked me my food, but like they didn't wait on me, and that's kind of my rule of thumb. Like if you bring my food to my table, then yeah, then it's warranted of a tip. But if you're
Right.
just
So if they're
handing it
not
to
doing
me,
the thing that you would generally tip them for, why would you feel bad about not tipping them? Why would like this is my problem. I'm just so sick of hearing people bitch about this, but then I know they still do the tips and they say, "Oh, but I feel bad." But I don't feel bad for you idiots, because I don't feel bad saying $0 if you didn't do shit for me. You know, and that's the only way it's ever going to stop. But everybody just wants to whine about it. Does
yeah.
nothing. Stop fucking tipping.
So there's at Target Field, when you buy like a drink at like one of those like like at a stadium, how they have those random vendor guys who just like open the beer for you. They ask you for a tip after they just open your beer, and I just pound the no tip every time. I'm just like, dude, like if you made me a mixed drink, sure, but I'm not tipping for you cracking open my beer, especially when it's already a $15 drink. Like, you know what I mean?
Good. Carry that energy
Like,
with
that's
you to more
absurd to me.
places. Be the change you want to see. Oh,
Yeah, and
but,
like I'm all about tipping when it's warranted, but like it's just gotten to a point that they're asking it for everyone. Like even at like Subway, they're asking for tips, and maybe I could see that at Subway just because they actually are hand making your sandwich in front of you. But then you could use that
you're
logic
doing
at
it again, though.
Chipotle.
Just stop hand wringing about it. Just, oh, I don't know. Maybe they deserve. Either they do or they don't, and you do or don't tip them. It's just that simple. Like you're doing the same thing I just told you. People need to stop doing it. And then you're like, well, yeah, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Like, no, you stop. You don't need to justify it. Just stick with they're not doing the thing I want to tip them for. I'm not tipping them. That's it. You don't need to do any of these mind games. You're just validating the bullshit of them asking for a tip on all this stuff. Just be resolute. Fuck no, I'm not doing this.
I mean, to be fair, I've never gotten yelled at for not leaving a tip. That's a good point. Nothing's ever happened for me for not doing it. So, I mean,
what
that's
are
a
they
good
going to
point.
do? They have no argument, because you're right. They didn't do anything for the tip. What are they going to say? But I asked. Okay, I don't care. The homeless people ask for money, and I usually say no.
Yeah, the only time I ever give homeless person money usually is if there's like a woman with a kid. Then sometimes I will. But like other than that, I'm pretty much not going to give. Because I mean, like I feel bad, but like at the same time, like they're most of these people are not going to spend the money on what you want them to spend the money on. So it makes it really hard for me to give them any money.
Well, I mean, I personally, I don't care if I give them the money and they went and spent it on drugs. Like if they wanted, I'm giving away money that I'm writing off. I don't give a shit about it. It's like if I went to the casino with it, I'm fine with losing it. So he can do whatever he wants. That's just, I don't know. I would rather just not interact with them for the most part. That's really what it is. Just keep it moving.
Yeah, no. So I remember one time in Duluth, this homeless guy or crackhead, I don't know if he was homeless or what, but he was definitely on some stuff. He literally just comes right up to my car window and just asks me for money. And I'm just like, dude, please get out of my car window. That's what I said. I said, I don't have any money. Don't ever come up to my car window again. I was like, that's unacceptable to me. Like, don't come into my personal property because you feel obligated to ask me for money. Like, I feel like, yeah, you must be in a pretty tough shape that you feel the need to do that. But at the same time, are you really in that type of shape, or are you just thinking that, oh, I'm just going to give you $1 to get out of my face? Like, that's what I feel like their logic is. Like, these people are just handing stuff to get them away.